My grandmother asked him. She was a slave. She said, I heard that when the next man come, they couldn't do nothing with that man. Is you that man? He said, yes, I am the man. He said, I heard all of your prayers.
They call him the Mahdi, self-independent guy, well, back into Islam and to kill the infidel.
He boarded a ship and came here by himself.
They asked him, says, where is your authorities?
He opened the Quran and showed it to him. He said, I am the supreme being.
Welcome to the documentary on Master Fard Muhammad. This film contains a small portion of the information contained in the book, The Complete History of W.D. Fard by Alam Khan Publications. The book contains rare accounts of Master Fard from John Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, and over 20 other witnesses. It also contains historical newspapers, documents, photos, letters, and more. Here are some facts to note for clarification for those who don't know. Elijah's wife is Clara. John, Johnny, Jam, Kalat, and Wali are blood brothers of Elijah. Their father is Willie. Bernstein Sharif became John's wife. Emmanuel is Elijah's first child. Without further ado, let's begin.
Well, we don't want to be like that preacher. You know, the preacher had been coming, trying to teach and get his audience to listen to him. But every time we would get there, they would start talking about the party they had on Saturday night. So the old preacher got out of there. So he studied up a way to get their attention. So he put his 45 in his pocket, and he taken his Bible, and he put a pour of whiskey in his Bible case. So he got up before the people, he put the Bible down to his left, and he put a 45 over to his right. Then he looked over the people and he says, brothers and sisters, my text here today, some of these things will move you.
I was born in Sandersville, Georgia, in the year 1897. I have never known the exact day or month of my birth because my mother was not able to remember it. My grandparents worked as slaves for a white family by the name of Poole near Sandersville, Georgia, and in my early life, I was known as Elijah Poole. I attended school at Cordell, Georgia, but went only through the 4th grade. After leaving school, I worked on my father's farm until 1919. In 1919, I was married to Clara Evans at Cordell, Georgia. From 1919 to 1923, I worked on a section gang for the Georgia and Southern Railroad at Macon, Georgia. In 1923, my wife and our 2 children went to Detroit, Michigan, and from that year on to 1929, I worked for various companies in that city, including the Detroit Copper Company, the American Nut Company, Briggs Body, and the Chevrolet Axle Company. In the latter part of 1929, due to the Depression, I was out of work but remained in Detroit.
I didn't have shoes. I didn't have a suit. My brother Kalat gave me a suit. He was working at Ford, but he had got laid off because of the hard depression. He gave me a suit.
When I was a little boy, it used to be very hard for me because my father had at that time 13 children. I was the middle child. We were brought up on the farm. When I was 10 years old, I used to cut firewood and take it to the little town to sell it for 50 cents, so as to help my brothers and sisters. My older sister used to chop with me, and we'd go together to the little town to sell it. We had nothing to wear. I was having at that time only one rough garment for the whole season. When I was 18 years old, I used to work for a white man on his farm for 50 cents a day, from sun to sun. Then it got worse, so he began to pay me $8 a month for farming the whole day from sun to sun during the entire month. That man was a very cruel white man, as all devils are. He was very old, too. He used to gather the farmers whom he did not like and give a whip to his wife, who would whip them while he held a gun at them to make them submit to beating. I worked for that cruel white man so as to collect enough money to train myself to be a dining boy in the railway, but I was not able to take the course because I quit working for that cruel white man after 6 months, because he threatened me that he would beat me with a very strong 6-foot stick that he used to carry with him if I did not obey him. Therefore, he told me to leave, and so I left. That was not the time they called slavery, but it was at the time they used to call freedom. He was not calling any laborer by his name, but he was calling our people some nicknames he invented for them. He used to call me Levi. This man was not an exception. They were all about the same.
You said, this man sure do hate white folks. I don't have to hate white folks. I don't have to hate them. No, why? They made me hate them. Made my parents to hate them.
That's right.
Anytime that a man beats a pregnant woman until she dies because she didn't work in the field.
Come on.
What? Or why should I live then?
That's right. Come on, teach us for a minute.
I don't have to hate them. They taught us to hate them.
That's right. Yes, sir.
By what they did to us.
That's right.
They put it in their own books in the library.
Yes, that's right. It's true.
Of how they hung people. What they did to you and me, meaning my fathers, mothers, and fathers. Look what they're doing today to you.
Yes, sir.
They got it in a nutshell now, calling it education.
Teach, Supreme Master. Right. Teach.
And saying that it's yours. We give you 30 days out of each year to tell all you know about yourself.
Teach.
Well, I want you to go back and tell what I say today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Right.
Once, a time when I was a little boy coming to Cordell to sell a load of wood, I saw a lynching crowd. I was that time a child about 10 years old, when I saw that morning a dark man horribly lynched by whites. He was accused of insulting a white woman. That dark man was a young fellow about 18 years old. They lynched him right in the section where I was selling the wood and where our people live. They took him and hanged him to a willow tree after they lynched him with extreme cruelty. That event impressed me so much that I cannot get over it. I did never forget it, not until this day. It was terrible and horrible to see such things happening, and all our grown men right there to our section, allowing such things to happen. I returned to our house, which was about 4 miles away from the little town, grieving all the way. I wished I were a man so that I could try to do something about it. That scene hurt me very much.
I went to school in the city of Detroit. The majority of my teachers was white. I've heard teachers in my school say to us in the room that we was in, I had a white teacher that was a woman, that was over the manual training room. She was the teacher of the manual training. And we was in there, full of black and a few white. She said, she got angry with one of the black boys and she said to him, all of you niggas should go back to Africa where you came from. That was my teacher. Well, I couldn't do nothing but look at, my hand. See what color they were. Know that I was black anyhow. I turned against her that very moment.
Yes, sir.
I had another teacher, white, that told me in the class that the black people and the white Jews didn't have a flag, but the Jews did. I happened to learn that. After leaving her, I find that she didn't have much of a knowledge.
I've met a devil who had a piece of a black man in his pocket, showing it to me to make me to fear him, because I am a murderer, a killer of your people. That's what he let me know.
I was born in Cordell, Georgia. I was born there. Me and my brother have been going to school, and devils driving Model T Fords would run out of the road to try to run over us when we come back home or going to school. And they did it with many of them. We had to jump in the ditch to keep them dogs from running over us. Oh yeah.
My grandmother used to sit down and tell me how the white people used to beat her sister when she was young and under slavery. They were beating her until her legs swell enough and blood comes out of her skin, and I sit and listen to her telling me the sufferings of slavery until I fill my heart with griefs. And I used to tell her, my grandmother, when I get to be a man, if the Lord helps me, I will try to get my people out of the grip of this white man, because I believe that we will not be able to get along with peace under his government. She says, I do not think either, son.
My father was the first member and was the first one to hear about Islam. He met Abdul Muhammad, the representative of Master Farad Muhammad, in the alley. And when he met him, and Abdul answered all of his questions right there in the alley, working. My father was working. He had stopped preaching and he was working for the city, cleaning up the rubbish in the alleys. And that's where Abdul stopped and talked to him, Abdul Muhammad. And he did. My father asked him where was the place at. So he would like to hear that man. And he told him. So my brother Johnny, he set out to find out the address where it was at while my father was working. And when he found it, they went to this place in a house. And there he come back and told my father that he found the address. And then my brother Elijah Muhammad and my brother Wali Muhammad and Johnny and my father, they went to hear Master Farad. And that's the way he would come into the Temple of Islam by my father, because they would sit on every Saturday and they would talk about what they had learned by meeting Master Farad and Abdul Muhammad.
One day our father told us that he received some information and teachings from his friend Brother Abdul Muhammad, who told him that Mr. W.D. Farad has taught him and gave him that name after he was known by his slave name Brown. Brown himself was connected with the Moorish American movement started by Noble Drew Ali. Abdul Muhammad joined the movement under the name Brown L. Abdul Muhammad told my father what Mr. W.D. Farad was teaching, and my father told me. When I heard it, I told my father, "I like to hear that man." I said, "That is good what Abdul Muhammad told you." That was in the spring of 1931. I asked my father about Abdul Muhammad, and he told me where that man lives, and therefore we went, my brother and I, to find Abdul Muhammad. We had visited Abdul Muhammad in his house, me and my older brother, for several weeks, and he was telling us what he had been taught. Then we visited the place where Mr. W.D. Farad was teaching. It was a basement. I was not able to get into the basement because it was so crowded that I had no way to get in. But I heard him. He was speaking on Hastings Street, around 3408 Hastings, and I was not able to hear him well here too, because it was so crowded, thousands of people listening to him. After the meeting was over, I was sitting down and thought about the teachings. They did me so much good just to think about them. I waited after the second meeting, so I might have a turn to meet him. So we lined up to go by and shake hands with him, because he was shaking hands with us all. And when I got to him, I shaked my hands with him and told him that I recognized who he is, and he held his head down close to my face, and he said to me, "Yes, brother." I said to him, "You are that one we read in the Bible, that he would come in the last day under the name Jesus." I said, "You're that one?" Here he looked at me very serious when I said that to him. And finally he said, "Yes, I am the one that you have been looking for in the last 2,000 years. I am the one. But you go ahead now, brother. That is good." And he did not seem to care whether others were sharing what I was saying or what he was saying. So finally I went back again and listened, and he told the whole congregation that he was the Jesus that we have been looking for and expecting, not the one who was here 2,000 years ago, but the one we had been expecting. He said, "This is the time of that one." At that time, I was satisfied. Then I go out in Hamtramck and tell my poor brothers and sisters there, what I have learned from his teachings. So they would sit and continue from hour to hour, listening to what I was saying. I went on for a few months. In the fall of 1931, my wife one day went to hear him, and I stayed home with the children. That night he asked about me, saying, "Anyone here in this hall know that little man who lives in Hamtramck?" My wife answered, "Yes, he is my husband." Then he wants me to teach. He told her to tell me to go ahead and teach Islam, and he will back me up. These were the words he told her to tell me. I felt so happy when my wife told me that. I said to myself, now we really have something to teach, and it is good. So I began teaching.
When I shaking hands with Allah himself in person, Master Farad Muhammad, he said, "You want to reclaim your own?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Okay, I shake hand." I told him my life and death is all for Allah.
Yes, sir.
And he said, "Okay." Okay, so you come, just come on, be a follower. He used the name Farad Muhammad. When he first made himself known to me and others, he used just the Farad, Wallace Farad. And he had an initial in between there that I never knew what that initial stood for. And that was a W. D. Wallace D. Farad is what he give to us. Then, in the third year, on his departure, he told me that his name was Wallace Farad Muhammad, W.F. Muhammad, right there.
This was the first time that he revealed his name to you?
First time he put the Muhammad to it. Yes.
The name Farad is pronounced in English as spelled F-A-R-R-A-D, but in Arabic it's pronounced Farad.
Or you'd like to know how your movement has got started in the first place.
On the coming of Mr. Farad,
Pardon?
his name, Mr. Farad, F-A-R-D.
F-A-R-D. Farad.
Muhammad.
Mr. Farad, you say?
Well, that would be the
F-A-R-D?
pronunciation in English, but we in the Arabic it's Farad.
Farad.
Farad. Yes, Farad. We're not saying Farad.
We call Muhammad from Muhammad. And many people say after they had went to Mecca that they haven't known a name like that. And it meant Muhammad by saying Muhammad. So it is the highest language of the God.
Yes, sir.
That's why you ain't never hear. I was saying Muhammad when I said Muhammad. Some people say it's not in the Arabic language. I had a brother to tell me, he says, all you hear is Muhammad. God said Muhammad. And it's there. And it's there. I will read it to you someday and show you Muhammad in the language of Muhammad, spelling it in the English language. Black.
How tall was
You haven't seen the messenger?
he? I never saw him in person.
You never saw him in person?
I heard him described as being about 6
But he was about his size. He never weighed over 140 pounds.
Master Farrar, how did he look? Did anybody see him? Yes, many of us saw him. He was in and out of our home every day in the week. He ate out of our home. He also ate at my grandparents' home. And we saw him. We know what he had on when we saw him. We know his height. We know his complexion. We know that he wasn't a Caucasian, as some people believe.
That's right.
Master Farrar was a handsome man in every respect. Medium size, black hair with a few unnoticeable strains of gray, beautiful white teeth, an even-toned complexion, a soft accented voice, and appeared very healthy. Some people on a different leadership that call themselves Muslim want to claim that Master Farrar hair appeared at times as being kinky. But here, stand up, Uncle. Here's my Uncle John, who knows more about Master Farrar's hair than anyone, because he used to massage his hair. Yeah. He used to cut his hair.
So he takes those people and he raised them up, clean them up, wash them up. Wash all of the filth away from them.
Yes, sir.
Put his words in their mouth. And then they go, no lesson or nothing. We walk from house to house. Brothers and sisters. You tell them, there's a man here in Detroit. And he says there's no heaven up there and no hell down here. The only hell is we on the earth. All this heaven is right here on earth. Oh, brother. And we had a good time walking around telling people that. We run into many people that didn't want to hear it. That's all right. They cuss us out, we cuss them out. That's right. We did it. That's right, we did it. That sheep, that lost sheep, he says, is my sheep. I am its shepherd. I'm here to find him. That's what it was said when Master Farrar Muhammad came in this country. I've come, I have came here looking for my sheep. Now don't think about just one. It means all of us. Because he said, 60 years hence of my coming, we learn about you. Huh? We heard about you. Huh? So he boarded a ship and came here by himself. He didn't need nobody to come with him.
When Allah come, he say, I come for my babies. And we was his baby and still his babies. That's right. Because we didn't know nothing, not a damn thing. Pardon me from saying that. Not nothing before he come. We were just out there a walking spook. That's all.
He went to a church, if I'm wrong, uncles correct me. He went to a church and the preacher was preaching concerning Jesus. And Master Farad got up and said that he was the long-awaited Jesus whom they have been looking for the last 2,000 years.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's right.
He knocked at the door for him to open the door, you know, like the door is closed. He knocked at the door for the usher to open the door, and when the usher opened the door, he said to him, "I am your Jesus, I am here." Yes, sir. And when he said that, this big black man hit him in the mouth and knocked out his teeth. And he would not tell us who did it, neither did he tell us where the church was at.
Thank you. You know why he didn't tell it? You know why he didn't tell the followers during that time? Because there wouldn't be no more preaching, no more church, no more followers.
That's right. That's right.
Did you hear what I say? No more preacher, no more church, and no followers. We were a clean house back in those days. Now, the one that I learned that replaced Master Farad tooth was used to be my school teacher, if I'm not mistaken, correct me, Sister Odessa Villar. Is that right?
Not Odessa.
What's her name?
Ishmael.
Sister Ishmael?
Ishmael and his wife.
See, all backwards. Thank you, Uncle. He knows.
That's right.
He knows. I would never. As I said, I was only 9 years old. A lot of things I got hearsay. And this uncle standing right here, we used to work together in the field, and he told me something that would bust your viscid, my father used to say. But I'm saying I might tell some of them today. But that uncle there was very, very close to Master Farad. He had to be in order for him to be the penman for Master Farad to write down the original names. He had to learn a lot from Master Farad that the other ones don't know. But I'm glad that I had him in the field so he can give me some of that. Thank you.
Thank you. The whole nation, 4,400,000,000 people are proud that you're here today.
Yes, sir.
I remember one time Master Farad Muhammad was in the temple and he was talking to his brother back where he come from, in Asia. He was talking to his brother, and his brother asked him, how many of the people do you have there in the lost world? And he told him about 1,000 is here now. That's what he said. He said about 1,000 is here now. Now, he kept worrying him so. He says about was any accepting their own? Was any people in the lost world accepting Islam and what you're teaching them about it? So he answered him and told him yes. And he says that his brother and others then kept worrying him so he stopped talking for a while. And he says to the sister that was acting as secretary there to bring him a lemon. She gave him the lemon, and he started sucking on the lemon with the juice to gas himself so that he wouldn't hear them. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Of course, you may not know what I'm really saying. I'll tell you, I'll break it down to you. The black man having 7.5 ounce of brain that has not been tampered with is able to use his brain just like you was able to go home and turn your radio on.
That's right.
Any station he wants, any part of the earth he wants, all he has to do is to get quiet to himself, and he will see you.
That's right.
He could talk to you, but you would never hear him because your record is not clear.
That's right.
Your record is broken and all tore up, all scratched up, so you couldn't hear him because you've been living in the Western Hemisphere so long, doing the wrong things, and got all messed up.
That's
now
right.
our brains, we can't communicate together with a brother or sister that is across water or even sitting right next to me. Now do you kindly rather get the picture I'm bringing to you?
Yes, sir.
He can sit down, stand or wherever he's at, and when his telephone rings in his head, he can talk to that person and knows who he is, and his eyes will see him. So that's like the radio and the television. When we sit down at home looking at television, we see the people, right?
That's right.
What if your brains was like that?
Yes, sir.
You say, well, I can't do it. That's true because they've been all messed up. But now listen now. Where did that radio or television come from? It came out of a man's brains, right?
Right. Teach, Supreme.
So if the man is able to make this mechanical work and so that you can hear across the water, why can't you hear without this TV and radio?
Right. Right. Teach.
Now you're getting the
Yes,
point
sir.
now, right? Because you is the maker of this, what you are sitting down, listen at, you know what was and everything put together in the making of it. So Master Farad taught us that they didn't need radios and televisions. Well, we didn't have televisions while he was here. We didn't hardly have a radio. I saw one in school and it looked kind of funny there. And the voice of this President Coolidge. Long time, huh? Long time ago. President Coolidge was on the air. I was sitting in the schoolroom and my teacher had this radio there and we heard President Coolidge speak on there. First time I had ever seen such makeup or heard such thing in my life. I was a little boy going to school. Now that can be did with you. You might say, well, how can I do that? How can I do that? Listen, at my brother down south or in Europe or in West Asia or East Asia or anywhere I'm at, across that big body of water which could consume the noise, how can I do it? Live right. That's the answer. Live right. Be yourself.
Yes, sir.
Stop eating everything that you see on the streets and in the restaurants and in the grocery stores. Stop eating it. Especially scavengers meat, pig, hog,
Right.
wild animals, and eating a whole lot of all kind of meat. No meat is good for you to eat. No kind is good for you to eat, regardless to how good a chicken is baked, barbecued. It's no good. Hog meat is no good for you to eat. It sounds the brain.
That's right.
You might say, well, I've been eating it this long and haven't did anything. Yes, it have too.
That's right.
It has. It keeps clogging up like water when it's freezing. It keeps freezing the brains, keep freezing it. After a while, you knows nothing.
That's right.
You're forgetful, and we wear eyeglasses. It makes you nearers of sights. A lot of people have to wear these things, eyeglasses, not because of the sore or something in the eye. It is because that he has ate too much poisoned swine and drinking too much whiskey, beer, or wine. Alcohol will tell you when you're drinking it that you should not have it by the eyes. Because here you go, you can't walk straight, right?
That's right.
Alcohol is in your brains, in your body, and here you go, you walk from one side to the other. You can't walk straight. Why? We say he's drunk. That's right. If he's drunk, then he can't see right.
That's right.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
So he's all messed up. Thank you.
Looking back over the mystic happenings during his stay with us, things I saw along with others, to name a few, how he could tell you what you were thinking, things you had said, and even to things that you would say, and it would come to pass. One such incident, 2 of the laborers were at home talking, making mockery of a young 13-year-old school teacher who was unusually tall for her age and heavy-boned. When Master W.D. Farad got there, immediately he reprimanded them for what they did, and he was nowhere near the house when they did it.
Well, he have told me things, but, well, some of the things seemed like miracles, but he wasn't working in miracles. He healed me one time by hitting me in my back. I was pretty sick that day on the picnic. And I was standing right beside him, and it was something happened, and it was pretty funny between the rest of them dancing on the floor. And it was pretty funny, and this brother couldn't dance, but was dancing with the sister. And he hit me on the back, and me and him both laughed. That was the end of that pain that I was having in my back. I ain't had it since.
I asked Allah something that maybe you don't know. I saw my wife was in a condition, any disease. The thing that she had was a cancer, and it had been with her ever since he came to us. He told my wife in my presence, "Sister, you have a sick stomach." This sick stomach traveled with my wife up until the day she died. She knew these things, and I knew them. I did not want to tell our sons and daughters the condition that our mother and our wife was in, my wife was in, where they would grieve themselves. I known it for over 30 years. But I kept it to myself. I know what was wrong. God had told her, and she knew it. But there was no cure for it, and the way the cure was sought.
As to incidents that happened during my laboring as his secretary were many. Things I'd think of at home, and when I'd get to work, he would do them. He had a beautiful wine-colored suit that I really liked to see him wear. In fact, it was bought for him when he came out of jail. For some reason or another, he stopped wearing it, and I saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wearing one just like it. I thought he had given it to him. So this particular morning, I was thinking about it and wanted to see him with it on. I went to work, and behold, he had it on, and said this to me when he saw me. "How do I look?" I smiled with a big smile and said emphatically, "Fine."
He took my wife home and told her, says, "I've never been to your house, but you just watch it." Said, "It's Katie." He called the car Katie. It's going to stop right in front of your door. And it did. When he put on brakes, he was right in front of my wife's house. I wasn't married to her then. That's right. Or anybody could do that if they knowed. Yeah, if they knowed. If you know where I am, go get me any hunky, anybody, any black man today, and tell him to stop in front of my house, and he don't know nothing about my house.
We was over in Chicago before we got in the temple over there. We had just had a little, what we might say breakfast, but not, I wouldn't call it breakfast because there's nothing to eat hardly, you know. And Master Farad says, the devil have sent two of his henchmen to get you, Elijah, and myself to assassinate. He said, but they won't see us. He said, they'll be standing right there when they go downstairs, outside of the door, but they won't see Elijah or myself, for you see her. So it was. They was there.
They tried to do something to him. They even give him a dish with a little poison in it.
Yes, sir.
Spider webs and such things for him to eat. He sat there and ate them. And got up and walked away from the table.
Yes, sir.
And lived.
Yes, sir.
For many more to see him.
Yes, sir.
Could you do that?